Hello and welcome to the Inner Gamer episode 344. We are the video game source for you, the casual gamer. My name is Brett Yanofsky.
I'm Austin Morales.
And I'm Jason Hobbs.
And today on the Inner Gamer, we're going to be talking about Tunic, Kirby and the Forgotten Lands, a little bit of Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, and co-op in Returnal.
And in video game news, we're going to talk about the PS5 Pro to double performance.
And coming out, maybe?
Possibly soon.
Rumors?
Maybe.
Question mark?
And also, we're going to discuss The Witcher 4 in development with the Unreal Engine 5. Hopefully, it's co-op. And much more.
And for topic of the show, we're going to talk about Hogwarts Legacy. It is giant, and us is too much. I mean, is it too much? The State of Play came out, and we got to see a lot of awesome footage, and it kind of has us hyped a little bit. So we talk about that and more of that. Cue the music.
It is March 29, 2022. Welcome to the Inner Gamer Podcast, everybody. Whether this is your first time or your 100th time, we thank you for listening. If you have any feedback, you can email us at hello@theinnergamer.net. And if you want to show even more support, consider donating or sharing this episode with a friend. You can visit also theinnergamer.net/donate to contribute monetarily, either through our Patreon or a one-time donation, whatever suits your fancy. We will take it and we will invest it in the right ways to give you more and better content each and every single day. Now, let's dive into the games we played. Austin, you're the flagship star of this podcast today. Tell me, what have you been playing?
I've been playing Tunic. I'm losing my voice. So we went to South by Southwest 2019 or something like that. Sorry, not South by Southwest.
Music.
What?
It's loud.
They can't
Turn the
hear
audio
it.
off.
They can't hear it. I'm doing it for y'all.
Yeah,
so
I
have the full
appreciate it.
experience.
Thank you.
We went to PAX South, which no longer exists, in 2019, I believe.
R.I.P.
Yeah. And we did an interview with Finji, and they had a bunch of games. This is one of them, and it caught our eye. And obviously, we had to do an interview, so go check that out on YouTube. And I think there was like barely anything to show, and they were like, "This guy is still working on the game. This is all we have for it." You know, it's a very, very short demo, and off the bat, it looks beautiful, and it is a beautiful game. Stylistically, like the way the lighting and the colors all play out is great, and it's isometric, top down. Is that the right word? Isometric.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
true, yeah.
So, and you play a fox that kind of looks like Link from Legend of Zelda, and you just are thrust in this world with, you don't know anything. You don't know what your objective is. You don't know what enemies, who the bosses are, who's the big bad. You don't even know who you are. You're just walking around, just doing stuff, exploring. Yes?
You just start beating up things that you have no issue with. You just, okay.
Well, they have an issue with you. They start attacking you. All the creatures in here start attacking you except for one, which is like this seabird that you come across in one area, and it just runs away from you.
Okay.
But the greatest thing about this game is, well, obviously the looks, first and foremost, like just capture the eye, and it's just very awesome. But as you progress in the game, you start figuring stuff out. You'll find pages on the ground which start to accumulate to make a manual. But most of the stuff in the manual you can't read. But as you play the game and find more pages and discover more things, everything gets translated to English.
Okay.
So as you progress, you want to go back to your manual and see what you got.
So are you finding like a cipher for it, or is it just magically
starts appearing.
you're able to read it?
So it's just based off of like progression?
Yeah.
Or, okay.
As far as I can tell, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's cool. That
So-
reminds me of No Man's Sky. Like the languages for the different civilizations when you first start playing, you can't understand any of them. And then as you progress through the game and discover new things in the world and stuff like that, you can slowly start to understand the languages of the different
Aliens?
race, aliens or whatever out in the world.
And that was like one of the key things that they told us about early on. Because I mean, you look at this game, and it's like it's a Zelda, kind of a Zelda clone, and okay, you're gonna go around and kill things, but the main thing that really draws me in is there's this great mystery. Like, where are we? What are all these things in this world? Who are some of these creatures and enemies that I run into that look pretty badass? Like one guy has a shield and a spear, and you can't attack him. You have to figure out a way for him to to drop his shield. I'm not going to go into that because I think half of the fun of this game is just figuring out how to get past these challenges. And eventually his shield drops and he just has a spear and you have to figure out how to, because he has a ranged attack now. So you can't just run in there and...
You can't just button smash, run in there and
yeah.
go crazy.
And so this is a Metroidvania style game where you die and come back, kind of like Dark Souls. There's like when you play this game, it's going to have a lot of resemblance to Dark Souls because you die, you go to one of the these shrines that have the fire, and that's where you spawn. And that's where you save. Yeah,
that's what I've heard. It's like, as much as like pre-release content was saying, like even our video said it was a charming Zelda-like game.
Yeah,
I've heard more comparisons to Dark Souls than that of Zelda after the launch.
Yes,
like Dark Souls comparison as in the difficulty, or just Dark Souls and just
in the combat style too, right?
Style.
Yeah, because it's not like you just go in there just like slash and stuff. It's like it looked like you're like you attack, you pull back, you parry, you like you wait for your right moment, that kind of thing. Yeah,
exactly.
This game doesn't seem like it would have that though.
Yeah, I mean, this is very, like, coming into it, it's just like, oh, this is going to be very, very interesting. Or, like, just a cute game that you jump into and, haha, I'm having fun. Okay, I'm done with it. But, man, like, there are so many hidden things in this. Everything has a meaning, and every puzzle can be solved. Like, when you start getting into this, you're going to be like, holy shit, there's a hidden path here that I could have taken early on to get to this one area. I didn't have to go this long 15-minute route to get there. And it's like, this guy put so much time and effort into this. It is ridiculous.
Yeah, did you mention that too, that this was developed by one guy?
Developed by one guy.
Developed, design, the whole 9 yards, one person.
Maybe he got help towards the later half because this was delayed for like 2-3 years, obviously.
Well, yeah, they've been working on it for, I think, like 8 years. I feel like he's been developing this game. Because our video with him was in 2018, and they were saying it was going to come out in 2019.
Yeah.
And here we are in 2022, and it just finally came out.
Yeah, it finally came out.
Shit.
So I don't want to say much more. We'll do a spoilers one later because there's some crazy stuff going on in this world, and it just got super interesting where I'm at. But there are a lot of things that you don't realize do things until later on when you start getting more of the little log. So right here is one of the
pages.
Yeah. See, some of it you can read, but some of it you can't.
Oh.
So you have to decipher a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to get too much into it because I want everyone to go in there who, if you think you might like this game, just go and experience. It's on the Game Pass, so on PC, and I'm sure it's on Xbox as well.
Yeah, it's on Xbox and PC.
Definitely check this game out. And yes, we'll have to do a spoilers cast.
Man, I want so badly to play this. Like, this is a game that I feel like I just want to play handheld so bad. But, like, I can't. Like, I want to play it on Game Pass, and I feel like I need to just play it on my PC. But, like, I really want to do it, like, handheld kind of deal. I feel like this would be a fun game just, like,
on the
for
Switch.
Going to bed. Yeah, just, like, pull out on your Switch and run through.
I mean, I think you can go wrong. Yeah. But it is beautiful on the PC.
Okay. I might even get on the Xbox.
Why not?
Sit on my couch and play it.
Why not?
I mean, it looks awesome. I mean,
it looks great.
I'm also really happy that they like brought this out and it has been such a success. I mean, it's reviewed incredibly. Like people are saying, like I've heard nothing bad about this game at all. Like no negative reviews. They're like, this game is super charming. It's great. They said it's familiar, but like it's not. It's a fantastically designed game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally agree.
Yeah.
So far, it's definitely my nomination for Game of the Year.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
You don't play Elden Ring yet, though.
I know. Apparently.
I feel like we're going to be the only podcast in the world that's going to review Elden Ring and be like, yeah, this game's garbage. Or just not be a fan of it.
When I eventually play it, I think I'm going to enjoy it. Yeah. But it's not going to be like this freaking amazing. Like, I like Demon Souls. Like, I thought it was a really good game.
Yeah.
But it is very difficult. And this game has difficulty. And it does get more difficult over time. Right. But it's definitely more for the casual gamer.
Okay.
And I feel like Elden Ring is for a casual gamer, that one gamer who wants to just, this is what I'm going to play.
Yeah, this is it.
This is it.
This is it the whole year.
I'm going to play this like 5 times. But it's almost a niche too in its own right. So,
well, I love that. Was it you that sent the TikTok video about the patch being a DLC?
Yeah, the patch. Elden Ring came out with a patch, and they added, what was it, more characters, more weapons.
Like new NPC and like more quest lines for existing NPCs.
And it was a patch. It's all free. So I'm like, wow, that's amazing. That's outstanding. They're adding more to this massive fucking game.
Yeah.
That's great, you know.
That's just great.
That's just great. No, it's outstanding. And I feel like more companies should do that. Even for this game, it's not, from what I've seen, it's not broken or anything. So this patch was more of a free DLC, how it seemed like. So, which is amazing. So I really appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure.
I wonder if like people up top are like, we got to charge money for this. Like, oh, it's just a patch.
It's just a patch. We'll name it as a patch, not a DLC, and just throw it out there.
Well, everyone developing is like, it's just a patch, okay? Everyone's like, wait a second.
I just want to mention in Tunic how fantastic the lighting design is in this thing.
Yeah.
It's like we're watching a video clip of him like walking through like clearly a very heavily canopied like forest area or whatever. And you just see these little like dots of like light coming down onto the ground, but the way that it looks and stuff is just like freaking beautiful.
Yeah.
Because it's such this simple art. I mean, it's like the little bushes and stuff look like freaking spikes. They're gonna kill you, but it's like the light shining through. It's just so neat looking.
I guess I'll talk about the combat system.
Yeah.
So you have a lock-on feature,
Okay.
and then you have an attack, and then you have a dodge, and eventually you get a shield that you have to find, and you can block stuff, which drains your stamina.
So kind of like a parry, I guess, but with the well, I guess shield is just you're just blocking. Never mind.
So I think there is a parry. There is an attack with the shield that you can just like bash away. But I'm not sure how that works, because I've tried that several times. I thought it might stun enemies, and or when they're attacking, I try to parry, and I guess I don't do it right, and they end up just hitting me, and I'm just like, all right, I'm just going to use this to like block. Eventually, you'll get magic weapons that you can use, and then you'll have a magic bar, because right now, early on, you only have a health bar and a stamina bar. And you start picking stuff up, but you don't know what they are. And some things will help you level up your attack, your defense, your stamina, your spell magic.
But you have to figure it out by like exploring more and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because everything you get has a name, but you don't know what it says.
You can't read it. Yeah.
It's all in like runic language or some kind.
And I remember what was really cool too is like when we did that video interview, the language that's in here is 100% fake language. But apparently, like he went as far as to like he knows what every single word, like there's actual a translation of every single word and phrase. Like he built his own language in this game,
awesome.
Which I thought was freaking nuts. So this isn't just a bunch of like gibberish lines. Like he actually has meaning for everything.
So maybe someone can actually decipher it and really figure out if they
feel
just
like
get
it could,
key words out of it.
Yeah.
So like there is amazing progression that makes me want to keep going.
Yeah.
And there's challenges where, they get hard and you die, but you can just go back and just try to figure stuff out, and it's just fantastic, man. I'm blown away.
Love it.
I know. 10 out of 10.
How many hours have you put into it?
I probably put in like 8.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I heard it's like 16 hours roughly is like how long to beat thing's going to be. So, but it seems like there's going to be some replayability too, where you want to go back and play it differently.
You need to start soon, because I really want to talk about some stuff that's going on.
Cool. Yeah.
And I can't.
I'm going to try to this week. Hopefully. We'll see.
I know.
See what happens.
You're busy. All right, moving on.
Cool. So me and Jason jumped into a demo on the Switch. And this new game that has come out now, it is released. But we have decided that, I've decided, and I'll let Jason speak for himself, but I decided I might not pick up Kirby and the Forgotten Lands after playing the demo.
Wow.
Because it is, so we played, the demo's out, and it's actually a pretty good, like, lengthy demo. I mean, it's like, it was probably like 2 hours roughly. So, I mean, there was like a good amount of gameplay. You could play through 3 stages. There's a boss battle in there. You got to experience a lot of the game mechanics. But one thing that I was very shocked by is that I thought this was a Super Mario Odyssey for Kirby. That kind of vibe. It is not at all. Jason, I'll let you elaborate.
Oh yeah, it's not. It's not at all. It's very just go to different stages, fight enemies, and that's about it. It's a very simple game. This game is meant for like a kid or something, most definitely. I don't they had something here because I love the fact that you can early on in the game Kirby can basically eat a car and you drive that car. So I thought, oh, this would be a cool open world mechanic. I can get in this car and just explore everything. No, this is very linear game. I didn't really enjoy the gameplay that much either. It just felt, I don't know. I don't want to say.
What's not to like? You get in the water.
Yeah, you get in the water. It's a very simple game, and I thought they were going to expand more into it. And then also the some of the dialogue was kind of weird because there's no dialogue, but like some of the creatures,
boxes,
they wouldn't say anything when they attacked me. Like in the cinematic portion of it, or the all that, you'll have these animals that are dogs, and they jump up, and there's nothing. They don't make like or like ha or like a growling sound. They just and it's all music, and they just go for you. And kind of like, I feel like there should be some kind of that thing. I feel like there should be some kind of noise or something they're making, or a growling, just nothing. And I felt like this game's not complete in some portions of it, and I'm super upset with it. That's really all I gotta say.
They have to, especially these games, like they have to be translated to English for an American audience or whatever. And I feel like sometimes that gets lost. Like they just either they need to cut corners because they don't have the budget, but I don't know, man. Like I wonder how we should look up something like the Japanese version, see what they got.
See what they got. I don't know. I just did not. I was not enjoying this game. It was just way too easy for me to run through and play. And then it's just there is a multiplayer aspect to it, which is cool, where you can play with two Kirbys.
The co-op
sounds interesting, but beyond that, I just don't see myself getting this game. I was super excited for it. Thought it was going to be an open world Kirby game. Looking forward to it, and it just
that sucks.
It's just that 3D little platformer.
Well,
going through
Tunic.
Stages. Yeah, I know.
That'd be a lot better.
I probably will after watching that gameplay and you discuss it. So, but yeah, I didn't enjoy it. Brett?
Yeah, I mean, I was in the same boat. I mean, I think I enjoyed it a little bit better, but it was definitely like I expected it to be an open world thing. We were exploring these forgotten lands, and instead, it's like you pick a stage, you drop into that stage, and it's this linear path. That's really much more like a standard like 2.5. I mean, it's like a 3D, but it's like a side scroller platformer ish kind of thing. Like you can't turn your camera around. Like it's fixed camera that tells you which direction to go. And you move through this world. The world's beautiful. Like it's actually a really like intricately designed world. It honestly reminds me a lot of The Last of Us. It's got this like kind of like darker, like war torn vibe kind of thing going on, but still like bright colors and everything. But I just expected, like I didn't expect when they showed, like when you find the car, like you mentioned, like you can suck in the car in your car. Like this thing right here looks like freaking Last of Us.
Yeah.
But you suck in this car and you become the car for a little bit, but it only works for like a short portion of the game, and then you don't use that mechanic again. I mean, you might later on. Like there's a part where you can become a vending machine, and you do that a couple of times, but it's very much like a specific mechanic for just like a section of a level, and it's not something you can do on command or of anything like that. And then you can, you of course like suck up like little like sword guys, and you can use it to like sword fight people and whatnot. I mean, it's really it's cute and like clever stuff, but it's just like none of it's ever explored enough.
We just watched Kirby get the car, and it was like the super epic cinematic that just ended up being super ridiculous.
Yeah, it's.
I mean, I expect
ridiculous.
it from Kirby, yes.
Yeah. The other thing that what I didn't do in this game, and I'm curious to know how it changes, but there's two difficulty modes here. There's Spring Breeze mode and there's Wild mode. And I played Spring Breeze mode because I just like simple things, right? And it's easy, not very challenging, that kind of stuff. You get more health and whatnot. But then there's Wild mode that apparently is a hard mode that gives you more star coins than Spring Breeze, but Kirby has less health and enemies are more difficult to take down. So I don't know. Did you play Wild mode or did you play
No, because after playing Spring Breeze and running through it, I was going to play Wild mode, but I had no interest into advancing in this game any further.
Yeah.
Like, I had zero reason to keep playing.
Yeah.
It was just
boring.
Well,
it's
cool. There's cutscenes.
Yeah, I mean the cutscenes are good, and
cutscenes have like a lot of music and like no good story beats, I guess, on what the fuck's going on.
Yeah, there's no dialogue or anything that's like telling you. It's just like you're just watching them experience something. It's left to your interpretation of like what's actually happening. But yeah, it's definitely a not what I expected kind of game. And looking at the last one, the Tropical Breeze or whatever, I forgot what it was called, but the last Kirby game, that was more like a traditional Kirby, but you had like 4 different you could have 4 people playing co-op, which I thought was really interesting. And this one drops it down to 2-player co-op, and it's definitely more of a 3D open co-op or open game. It's not just like straight on side scroller, but it doesn't have as much. I feel like it's like a half step forward as opposed to like a full step. Like I thought they were leaning into with the trailers and stuff like that. So yeah, Kirby and the Forgotten Lands. I'd say probably wait on it or just not play it. I mean, if you really love Kirby, I think it's worth picking up and playing. Yeah. But it's not changing the formula in any way. It's not doing anything super unique. It's just another Kirby game, another Nintendo game.
I think the only thing they were trying to do that was unique is Kirby's able to basically be a car and be a cone and be objects instead of taking powers and abilities. Because you can turn into this giant cone and like do a bash, and then like he said, you can turn into this vending machine and just start shooting soda pops at fucking people. But I mean, I didn't find that very. I thought Kirby could always do that. To be honest, I don't know. Whatever he eats, he turns into. So
not every time.
Not every time. I guess.
I saw 3 dog creatures and nothing happened.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's Kirby, everybody.
Yep.
Next up, I think we're going to talk a little bit about, now, just impressions, but we're going to talk a little bit about none other than Tiny Tina's Wonderlands that just dropped.
Oh, yeah.
Last week.
Oh, yeah.
And we've been hyped on this game. I think all of us have been really hyped on this game. It's from the creators of Borderlands, and it takes their DLC that they had that was called Assault and Dragon Keep in Borderlands 2, which they made into a standalone version of the game. Then they expanded upon it. Yeah, bunkers and badasses. Yeah, and then they expanded upon it into a full game that literally is a full game. And a lot of people say it's like, oh, it's kind of like a reskin Borderlands, and it is. But what it does and changes up with the formula, I think, is so interesting. And like, I feel like this is like a better Borderlands 3. In like every way.
Oh yeah, I agree with you on that.
Wow.
Yeah, this is like Borderlands 3. I'd say if you haven't played Borderlands 3, just get this, and you have exactly what you want in a Borderlands game. Yeah. So yeah, we haven't played too far into it yet, but we're like, I don't know, probably 3-4 hours into the game roughly, give or take, right?
Probably more than that. We streamed it 3 hours.
Okay.
So
yeah,
counting the intro that we did.
I guess it was an hour before that. So yeah, probably 4 or 5.
4 or 5 hours. We are 4 or 5 hours into it.
4 or 5 into it. One of the first things that you fall into now, humor here is awesome. There's so much. I mean, there's great actors and actresses here. Like you have Wanda Sykes, who plays the robot character. Andy Samberg plays what's the guy's name? I want to say Vigilante, but it's not Vigilante. Valentine.
Yeah,
Valentine. You have obviously. Ashley Birch reprising her role as Tiny Tina, and then the big bad, the Death Lord character is Will Arnett, which is
amazing,
pretty amazing. Yeah, so the voice cast is solid, and they do such a good job to just like pull you into this like silly zany world of Tiny Tina's badassery with bunkers and badasses and bunkers and badasses.
Bunkers and badasses.
Now I'm like
B&B.
getting twisted up on it now. There's a part in the opening, like the very first opening scene. There's nothing. This is like not a spoiler because it's the first part of the thing. About. But it's like you have your 3 characters. 2 of them are there, and one of them is like the noob or whatever, and the villain is like, oh man, this is like, I thought you guys were gonna be like some freaking like force to be reckoned with, blah blah blah. You even have a character that's not even painted. What the hell?
Talking about your character, the newbie. He's all gray.
He's just a gray character. So when you get to make your character, you start out as a gray miniature, basically, and then that's when you start building your character. And the character building in this is not anything like Borderlands has ever done. It is actually in depth. Like you have sliders to change every aspect of your character. You have like 6 classes to choose from. You have acolyte types that you can also add on to it that gives you stat buffs and bonuses. And you even have a character sheet to add points into your dexterity, intelligence, wisdom, charisma, those kinds of things. Like, I mean, it's like literally it's like a 30-minute character creator experience.
Yeah, it took me a while. I think that was
Damn it.
I know.
Yeah, I think that was the turn off for me is how in depth they went with making this character. Even with the cosmetic portion of it, I was just like, why am I diving this much into a cosmetic stuff whenever I don't even get to see my character that often because it's always first person view, you know? And I'm like, I don't know if I want to put so much time into this, and then everything else, like Brett said, it's like creating your own character sheet from D&D, and that's the worst part for me in D&D is just creating that and coming up with the numbers and what stats going to do what. I mean, they explain it pretty well on what stats will do what, and I just went with Village Idiot and just moved on.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, I can't.
Oh, so what I've heard is that apparently there's a huge group of people that play Borderlands that min-max the hell out of this thing. And like they're obsessed with their stats. And that's why after you beat Borderlands 3, the end game was like those like runs that you do where you can like just continually optimize your character to get the best build out of it. And that's basically, this is built for those players.
I see.
And there's a huge group of people that's what they do is they optimize the shit out of a character to see like, oh, let's try this. Let's go this direction. Let's do this modification. And I just didn't know that was a thing that existed. But the hardcore players of Borderlands, like that's what they do is that they love this gameplay and they just like spend forever to make those amazing characters that can just be the best of the best. And this is the first game I've seen where I could easily see myself having 2 or 3 different characters just to see how different they play.
Yeah.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
That was my biggest concern.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a deep customization system.
It's going to take you a while. Like, I jumped in thinking I'll have like 30 minutes just to fill the gameplay of, and like Brett said, it took me about 45 minutes to set up my character because I was just like, Jesus.
Yeah. I am just going to run through this.
Yeah.
They have auto. I'm going to do auto.
Well, so you can also later on go back, like once you get into the game and like open up the world there, which is basically like your sanctuary, you can go back and change your character anytime.
Oh, okay,
so
cool.
you can customize your character's look whenever you want. So if you're like, I just want to get in the game, you can just build like a freaking generic build and then go back in later and be like, oh, I want to change my head, I want to change my body, do all the things and customize it.
Perfect.
Which is awesome. I love the fact that I can just always change my character because like this guy over here is giving me shit about my
it's giving
character.
so much
he
shit.
says my character looks like shit.
Character did look like shit. You get up close to him. It was on the stream on Wednesday, but no, Saturday.
Okay, that's
looked
my
like shit.
brain.
I gotta admit it being like gray or black and white out of the box, like that's your character.
Yeah, that's your character.
I was like, that's amazing.
That's hilarious.
Because that's like exactly what it is.
Yeah, it's so good.
Before you paint up a character.
On top of that, it's basically Borderlands. They added some cool stuff in there, like the magical powers that you use, the L1. It's like you can either have a wand or like you shoot fire from your hands or do something cool. I think that replaced the grenade.
Yeah.
So that's pretty fun. The everything else, the biggest complaint with this game is just like Borderlands 3. There's too many weapons. And it's all shit. They're all shit. My backpack's constantly full, and
You're trashing a lot of stuff.
You're
all the
trashing
time.
a lot of shit.
Yeah,
And
See, that's just not fun. Backpack management.
to me, it's not as bad as 3, but we're only 4 or 5 hours into it, and it might get a little bit worse. Right now, I'm getting a little annoyed because I didn't even finish this mission yet, and I'm nowhere near a like sell point where I can sell shit. So, kind of gets a little annoying. But
yeah. The inventory management is not the strong suit here.
yeah,
And it's even like weird little like menu quirks where it's like, so you have your character's like loadout on the left hand side, and you have your melee weapon, your 2 guns that you start out, or I guess just 1 gun, and you unlock up to 4 guns at some point. Right now there's just 2 that we have in there, and then you have your ward, which is your shield. And then you have your spell slot. You have a ring, which is like your amulet thing that you can wear. And then there's a like an armor piece thing that's just like a buff.
Yeah.
And then something else. I think there's like 6 or 7 things, but with each one, it's like now they've added the ability where if you click on one of them, it'll like just sort your backpack to show you what's relevant to that slot. And then you can go in there and pick which one you want. But then if you want to go and like trash a bunch of shit, like it keeps jumping back and forth. Like it moves my cursor over to like the left or the right side, the side that I don't want to be on, basically.
It auto
when
does
I'm trying to like delete a bunch of stuff. I want to just see like, okay, I want to see all my weapons, and I want to then just go through and like mark them all as like junk and stuff. So later when I go to sell, I can just sell it easily.
Yeah.
And it jumps back and forth and puts my cursor in the place where I don't want it to be every time. And I'm like, just let me do it, please.
Just let me do what I want to do.
Yeah.
It gets irritating, but it's not. It's not slow.
No, it's not broken like it was in Borderlands 3, which is good. And that
isn't boring either.
No, the story's good.
Yeah.
Story's phenomenal. It's hilarious. It's what Borderlands 2 was. To me, in my eyes. So it's pretty good.
Yeah, I'm definitely into the story. I'm into the worlds, like the environments so far are super awesome. The dialogue's great. The gameplay is incredible. Like it's really, really good.
I like how Tiny Tina is tiny again.
Not
an adult.
Right. Yeah. She's appropriately sized. You know, she fits.
Yeah, I don't know where this takes place in
Who cares?
Borderlands.
Yeah.
I think it's
Who cares?
probably like in between 2 and 3.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's definitely just like its own side thing that just fits in the ether somewhere. But I can't wait to like run through it, and then I'm so excited for like DLC later on and everything. But I mean, there's a lot of room for depth here. The only thing I'm worried about that will get annoying. Oh, they have the overworld that we've ran through, which is like kind of where the overworld is like this new feature that's like a top down. You control a little tiny character with a big ass head that runs around to like pick your next destination, basically. So you can like find side quests, you can find like even like equipment and shit like that as you're running through, and then have random encounters. So that's like kind of like you're playing a Pokemon game where if you go through like the tall grass, you'll have like a random encounter pop up, and you actually go into an arena and fight off like a wave or 2 or 3 of enemies, and then you get gear out of that. So every run gets you gear and loot that you can use. And the loot is it's just a lot of loot. I mean, everywhere you go, there's loot.
That was the major problem with Borderlands 3 for me.
Yeah. It's the same here, but even more so, because now you're not just getting loot, but you're getting wards, you're getting spells, because your spells are inventory items. So you have like your character who has like an ability, but then a spell is also an inventory item you can swap out. So you'll collect spells off the ground and use those to change and stuff like that, which gets really confusing. Because the visual identity of each spell is like a little box, little thing. Like it's look like a satchel. So they're not visually different. Whereas like the gun, you can see like, oh, that's a sniper, that's a pistol, that's whatever. Right?
That's when you have to actually look at
like
it.
you have to like literally hover over and see what the stats are. So that's like probably one of the few complaints I have, that and just like the inventory management. And then I feel like the encounters are going to get kind of
annoying.
annoying.
Do you have to click to pick up the item?
Yes.
Yeah.
The gold and shit like that, it automatically picks up, and there might be a setting to do that where it'll pick everything up, but you don't want to have everything pick up, because a lot of this stuff is like white items, you know, that after like the first 5 levels, it's like worthless to pick that stuff up.
Yeah,
unless
you
you're
wanna
selling it or some shit.
unless you're selling it. But yeah, you got to
throw
go
that
up to
shit
everything
away.
and pick it up. Which if you kill a big bad, like they drop like 10 items, so you're like going over each one and just like square.
Yeah,
pick it all up
and
really
now you
fast.
have like a sword and stuff as well that you can use for melee, and it looks like that's another item you have to pick up, another thing you have to look over and see if you want to keep or not. There's a lot of equipment in this game, because now they just added more swords, spells, your outfits, necklaces, rings. It's a lot.
Thanks, the people who want to max out their character to the best thing. I just want to play the game and have that like awesome weapon that I find that I can use and level up over time. It would be amazing.
Oh yeah, you won't get a level. You'll be swapping that gun.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I know.
Yeah.
That's why I hate it. Cause
Yeah.
it's like, oh, I found a gun I like. It's like, well, now it's shit.
Yeah.
And I got this
Yeah.
other one that's like,
I don't know. I kept my 2 guns for a while. I just swapped them out just recently. So
Yeah, I was using mine for a little bit too, but you'll definitely have you'll be swapping stuff out pretty regularly here.
yeah,
But that's the nature of Borderlands, you know, just a shit ton of guns and weapons and things of all the
Your
types.
face.
But all that being said, I mean there's a few negatives we mentioned, but it's a really, really good game. I'm having a blast with it. This is like what I've been kind of waiting for. It's just something that's like stupid fun. And it's 100% stupid
That's what
fun.
Borderlands supposed to be. Come on, people.
Yeah, it's stupid
We had
fun,
this
and they
serious story that we
Yeah.
got with the other one, and it wasn't worth it.
and there's actually a villain here that I care about. Like I hated the villain in the last freaking thing, like
Borderlands
with
3.
Borderlands 3 with the brother and sister. I was just like,
Yeah.
Yeah, no
they're
one
kind
really.
of lame. And this one's like, I'm a freaking Lord Death Monster thing, and he's like this ominous figure that just like thinks you're a peon or whatever, and then we're gonna take him down. We're gonna fight him.
It reminds you back of Handsome Jack a little bit.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
actually make a reference to that in this game.
100%. Yeah.
So I think they called him Handsome Mac or something.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they could have made the brother and sister work out, but whoever wrote that story just did not do a good job.
Yeah. They struggle a little bit with it, but
This one's good.
yeah.
Like that.
Yeah.
I know, it's so funny. I mean, like literally every bit of Borderlands is in here, but they just made it
reskinned.
medieval instead. It's like instead of a shield, you have a ward. Instead, like every like little totem thing. I mean, you still got your shit, your little boxes you're going through, but then they're just a little bit more, medieval looking. Even their guns, like they're guns, but instead of being super sci-fi, they're like medieval. You have
like
crossbows instead of
Crossbows.
pistols.
Yeah, that's what I was
and-
about to say.
Yeah, it's funny. But
Well, I can't wait to play it. So let's end this podcast.
I know, right? No, we have one more game to talk about, actually.
God damn it.
Here we go, everybody. So, earlier this year, last year, we on the podcast talked about Returnal. Jason said he wasn't on the podcast. You might not have been, but I know
don't think
you
I was.
reviewed it, Austin. You played Returnal.
Dang it, man.
I'm sorry. I was
Yeah.
gone for work stuff. So.
He was gone for work stuff. But we reviewed Returnal at one point. You played it, Austin. I think you enjoyed it, right? I mean, you had a good time
Yeah,
with
no,
it.
I think it was really good. And then it's just really hard too. And that was the thing.
It's hard.
Is I wanted co-op
Yeah.
and they didn't have it. So I was like, well, I'm selling this game because other games have come out and I want to play those games now.
Yeah. Well, now your wish has been granted.
Turn to Returnal.
Returnal has released co-op, as well as some new like tower climbing difficult mode or whatever that's out there. But basically, there is co-op now, and so me and Jason jumped into it, and I think you didn't realize that I had never played this game at all.
Yes, for some reason I thought Brett got it, and now thinking about it now, whenever I was playing it, I told Brett not to get it because he will hate this game with a fucking passion because the game is super difficult. But I agree with Austin. I was hoping that they would come out with a multiplayer aspect to it, and thank God they did because we streamed it last Wednesday.
Yeah.
And we jumped into it, and dear Lord, this game, I forgot how much I did enjoy this game, and I still do to this day. And now since they released this co-op, I fell back in love with it. Actually, after we were done playing, I was going to play some more because we got so close to that first boss.
Yeah.
I was super stoked, super excited.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did not realize Brett didn't have the game, so I was sitting there waiting on him to join in. But luckily, he got through it real quick. The game itself is eerie, creepy, and like I said before, it seems like everything's trying to kill you. There's no safe place, and if you go into a different area, it's a risk and reward. The higher the risk, the greater the reward. You can get a better gun, you can get better equipment, but you got to realize, there's going to be something really bad up in there. So Brett and I had I had a blast. I don't know if Brett did, but it was.
It's too hard for you.
How do
it
you
wasn't-
feel?
So it wasn't as hard as I thought it was going to be. Like I actually felt like, and it may have been just because it was co-op, that it was that kind of deal. Because it was nice that we could like share aggro, like he would take damage or I would take damage, and then the other person was able to like run away and get health or do whatever they needed to do. But I will say like visually, this game looks fucking amazing.
Oh, yes.
Like on PlayStation, and it runs so smooth. Like it's just so well optimized, and I mean beautiful graphics, like the visual style and everything like that. I mean it's definitely a flagship game for PlayStation, like to show off the graphics quality.
Yeah, it's the first one that came out that was like, dang, now we can actually see what the graphics look
Right.
like, opposed
Yeah.
to whatever else they came out before this.
Yeah.
I forgot what it was.
Demon Souls and all that. Well, I mean even it probably is
Came out
comparable with
around
Demon
the same
Souls.
time.
Yeah. But yeah, it looks really good. The gameplay and everything was pretty easy to catch on to. I mean, there were some things where I was like trying to figure stuff out, but I like the flow as you like discover new things and you learn what they do. It's like, and you'll see areas. It reminds you a lot of Control actually, and that you
Yes.
see areas of like, oh, I can't get into this right now, but I know eventually, like that one like little orange light thingy that looks like some kind of like grapple destination or whatever.
That I'm going to be able to unlock and get to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll be able to
Y'all
unlock
share?
and get to that.
The resources you collect or what?
Yes, we do.
This instance?
Not guns.
Yeah, guns are a different story. So when you're playing co-op, I realized this after I grabbed a gun and Brett's like, oh, I wanted a gun. The weapons are only one person can really pick it up. So you really have to communicate and decide on who should get that gun or where at and where it fits best.
The only thing that you don't share, I think, is like the shards and stuff that we pick up. I think that's like something that we all get. But as far as like attachable items and whatnot, that's all something you have to like conversate about.
Yeah.
To make sure it's not instance loot like it is in Borderlands.
Gotcha. Interesting.
Yeah. So that's interesting. It's an interesting mechanic. But I mean, I really enjoyed the game, but I will say after playing a couple hours of this, I could not see myself playing this game solo by myself and finishing it. I was getting not because it was hard, because I was getting bored.
Yeah,
I was like legit getting bored of, because like I realized after we played like 3 or 4 runs, I had been in. It reminds me a lot of Hades. I mean, it's the same concept as Hades, where you're running through different rooms. But Hades was different in that I think because of the style of it, it didn't feel as repetitive for whatever reason.
Well, you could get to where you were quicker than I think you could with this.
Yeah. I think so too. Yeah, because like at least with Hades, it's like it wasn't like, I guess the rooms just didn't feel the same, because I think they were more procedurally generated because it wasn't like a 3D game that you're working with. So even though the rooms were kind of similar, it was just like I'm going through and just collecting stuff, and I get the grind and the loop of like I'm gonna go through here, I'm gonna go through here. But in this one, because of the fact that like I have a mission of killing the big bad, right? And then I go all the way through that the first time, we die at the big bad. Well, now we have to go back and unlock everything to find out where the big bad is again, but now the whole world's different. So after doing that, like 3 times of unlocking the world to find out where the big bad was, I was like, shit. Whereas in Hades, you don't have an objective like that. You're just trying to get as far as you can to like do better and get better. And like you learn things.
Boss battles.
Yeah. But it wasn't like telling me like, hey, you need to find this boss at this moment that I recall in Hades.
No, I mean it was linear. You branch out when you start each level, or like from the beginning. You can decide which path you want to take, which has pros and cons to it. But at the end, you end at the boss of the first area, and then after that, you go forward.
Maybe I just never got that far in Hades or something like that, which is possible. Yeah.
Yeah.
But either way, it's just I felt like it got really repetitive for me after playing it. That was just like I've been in these rooms. They're different a little bit, and I can see as you like unlock new mechanics and stuff like that, it changes the way that they're gonna be like. And then I learn how to get around them faster and better and stuff like that with each run. But it was just getting repetitive, and that was a concern for me that I was sad about, because I love the gameplay and I think it's super super fun, but I was definitely feeling a little stale.
It's not a game that you can play fucking just nonstop all day, because you will get burnt out on it very easily. Yeah. Especially if you don't progress and beat the boss.
Right, exactly, yeah.
It gets a little annoying.
Yeah, the boss is freaking hard,
I felt like I wasn't getting enough story bits either.
Yeah.
And that's another thing about this is like, in order to get more of the story bits, you need to actually find the hidden ciphers and the hidden clues about the planet, and then also you have to progress through the game, because if you haven't beaten the first boss, you won't get a lot of story bits.
Yeah.
So, and actually that's another thing, Brett missed out on a story bit somehow, because there's a house that you should be able to go inside of, and it gives you a little bit of story bit with
did you ever get into the house? Okay.
Yeah, Brett wasn't able to get into the house
for some reason. I
Maybe
don't know
with
if it's a co-op thing.
Yeah, it's probably a co-op thing.
Because he said something about like a spaceman follows
astronaut
you around or whatever. Yeah. And I wonder if like our character is the spaceman, like our co-op
astronaut.
It's Space Woman. Okay,
whatever space character that our co-op character that we're with.
I think the astronaut's her father of some sort.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because she's in a more high-tech spacesuit, and that's like a astronaut spacesuit thing. Anyways, beyond that. But it's funny watching Brett pick up things when he should not, because he picked up multiple things and he's
no.
Yeah, just picking up everything. You don't do that with this game. You had to read and make sure you want to get it. And Brett's just, I'll get this, I'll get that, I'll get this.
Hey,
I was
here's
like,
the guy.
Brett, calm down. He's just like, I'm malfunctioning out. I'm dying. It's just like, no, Brett.
Because you're covered in the what are they called?
What is it?
When you cover those little things stick on you?
Oh, the parasites?
Yeah, the parasites.
Just covered in them. Just a squishy
I'm
thing.
bleeding out.
But Brett was, I kept telling him, like, hey, don't pick up everything because some of it's bad. And he's just that mentality of just grabbing everything, it's hard to break.
There was one part where I had picked up one of those, I forgot what they were called, like the parasite or whatever, where if I were to pick up items, it does damage to me. So, Jason was like, "Oh, Brett, you should get this gun. It's really good." So I didn't think anything of it. I walk up there and grab it, and I pick it up, and it's a shotgun. And I didn't like the shotguns, and it had already done damage to me. So I quickly, I just didn't think about it. I was just moving so quick. So I picked it up. It did damage to me. I was like, fuck, did damage to me. But I was like, I don't want this gun because I hate this gun. So I switched back, and I almost died.
Yeah, he switched his back.
Or maybe I did die. I can't remember. But it was like really bad. Like it does so much damage. It was crazy.
Oh, no. The last one that we did, we got super close.
Oh, y'all didn't beat him in this one?
No, we didn't beat him at all in the whole stream.
Yeah, we played him like 3 or 4 times and never got to beat him.
And there was this one part, I think it was our 3rd time going at it, only had the pistol, and I was doing great, full of health. And I was like, Brett, let's go fight him now. And Brett's like, no, I want to keep going, find something better. I was like, God damn it. Yep. And like my adrenaline's all the way up, so I'm doing great damage with my gun and everything.
You can pick someone up.
Yeah,
you can pick them up.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so the only way you lose is if you're both players.
Yeah, both players die.
Down.
And what's so good about this, if the player goes down, there's no time limit to pick them up either.
That's nice.
So I could have waited a little bit longer to pick them up. But
I was getting. Yeah, he kept attacking me. There was I couldn't find the tell of when he was about to come and slash me, and he would just like charge me and slash me in one hit and knock me down. And it was really bad. I was like, this fucking asshole.
But he has 3 health bars. Yeah. So
that's why it was hard when I was playing.
Yeah, if you play with someone else, is so much.
I think I got
so
to his
much
last
easier.
one, and I just couldn't get past it.
But as you see, I die a lot. It's really bad.
You got to keep moving.
So I read on here that this one article says that they said that you have to defeat Frike, and then the next run you do the house key will be available, and then you can get the house key and then go into the house. But
Shit. Did I beat him?
So I don't know what happened with you.
I went in the house. I know
don't
I did.
Yeah, I did too.
Because that's where I contacted the company because the game glitched out on me.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's weird. Maybe you had a glitch and you weren't supposed to get in the house, but you did.
But I did. Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, I mean, it's really fun. And it's definitely, I think if you haven't played Returnal and you have like a friend that you can like run through with, I mean, I could see myself jumping into this to do a couple runs
most
off
definitely.
and on and just like play through it. I mean, it was fun the bit I played it. It's just not a game. It's like you were saying at Battlefield. It's not a game I could play like more than 3 hours.
More than 3 hours, yeah.
2 or 3 hours. I was just like, don't want to do this anymore. Yeah. So, but visually it's great, and I just love it's from Housemarque, and they did Resogun, which I love Resogun, and this one definitely is just like it's so incredibly polished. I just couldn't believe how fluid and like just clean everything worked, and it was great. That's the other thing I want to mention about Tiny Tina's too. Other than the fact that we had issues figuring out the co-op at the beginning, I haven't found any like major bugs. I'm just like, wow, this game's broken. Like I feel like we constantly talk about in games. But
well, some of the enemies I noticed, like, we're going back to Tiny Tina. Some of the enemies, like, whenever I'm running through, they kind of avoid me, but still try to attack me. It's weird. It's like they're going the completely wrong direction at me, and I'm like, "Where are you going? I'm right here." And I'm like,
strategery.
Like I don't think it's that. I think it's no, it wasn't the goblins. It was some of the enemies. They just seemed like they weren't fully focused in on me, and they didn't run to attack me from there because it was the sword guys. They just ran, and I'm like, where? I'm right here. Where are you going? And I'm like,
really scared them.
Maybe, but then eventually I'll try to get closer to them. And they'll finally come towards me and try to attack me, but they'll just run in like
weird.
a circle, and I'm just standing there like.
That's the point.
Yeah.
I guess I don't know. You guys got to let me know if y'all see it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. No big glitches or anything.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Overall, it seems to be running pretty smooth,
Yeah.
which is impressive for a launch game, especially with multiplayer.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that is a game segment that we have to talk about. We'll be back next week with a deeper dive into Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, as well as maybe Elden Ring, maybe some other stuff. We'll see.
No,
maybe
I'll
Elden
wait
Ring.
on Elden
You'll have to wait on that, yeah. That's going to wrap it up, though, for our game segment. If you want to watch us on Twitch, we stream each and every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central Time. I believe we're going to play a game called Ready or Not.
Ready or not.
This Wednesday, so tune in for that. We'll also be doing more streams at Tiny Tina's Wonderland, so you should definitely tune in and subscribe to us to find out when we go live with that as well. And if you want to show even more support, you can follow us, just hit that follow like button or whatever and get notifications whenever we go live. So that'd be really great. We'll be right back with our video game news. It is time for our video game news where we share the best headlines from the week in the gaming industry. If you find something you want to hear us talk about, you can send it to hello@theinnergamer.net and we'll discuss on the next episode. Before we dive into our 5 articles we have today, I want to mention 3 quick things actually.
What?
Did y'all know that Nintendo Switch now has folders? You can put shit in folders? How cool is that? Is that cool?
There's a folder big enough to put a whole Switch in?
No. The UI lets you put shit in folders. I was really excited about that.
I didn't know that was a thing.
I also
don't-
want to mention that
why?
Overwatch 2's beta starts April 26th.
Oh,
right around the
so
corner.
they're actually doing Overwatch too.
Yeah, they
that was
are.
random.
Yeah.
Are you
That's
just
really-
going through the hot
I just have
takes?
stuff that
he's
I
like,
also
this is
cut.
what I wanted in
I
here,
cut
but
a
you
lot
guys
of
pulled it
stuff,
out.
yeah. Gran Turismo 7 had a bunch of bullshit, and
He
that was
really
crazy.
wants to talk about that one.
And then-
Do that.
And then Battlefield has already entered pre-production for the next Battlefield because they realized that 2042 is a bunch of shit.
Oh my god!
Rather than fixing what's there, they're like, no, let's just start the next game. We learned a lot of valuable lessons. So anyway, that's your hot takes from Brett for the news before we jump into the full news, which is...
I like the hot takes. That's
you.
pretty
Yeah,
good.
that-
That's
that's
Fuck
pretty good.
Battlefield.
Fuck Battlefield.
So first article we have that's a sizable article is there are rumors now, inevitably, that a PS5 Pro is in the works and potentially can launch in 2023 with doubled performance, built for being the kind of the premier flagship device for the PSVR 2.
Oh,
So,
With inflation, it'll be $1,000.
or if you can never
or if you can
get
never
it,
get it. Exactly.
still can't get a
It's like,
PS5.
no,
be like, it's
announcing
launched,
now, you can
but-
finally get the PS5 because the PS5 Pro is here.
Or it's only
Oh,
the
yeah,
Pro and not the PS5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just the Pro.
They can't produce both of them at the same
I
time.
know.
so they
I'm saying
gotta
it's
go-
impossible. You just can't do that.
Do you think they'll change the design up a little bit?
I don't know, actually. I
It'll be
feel like it's going to be
slimmer.
slimmer.
How much
And
Pro
louder.
can you get from the PS5? I mean, PS5 is pretty fucking good, right?
I
Yes.
know, but
So
I
this
agree.
is-
said about the PS4. And then we
I
got the
didn't say that about
Pro.
PS4, but like, so mostly this Pro is for the PSVR 2 that's coming out.
Well, I mean, I think it's also going to just like continue to increase the ceiling of graphical power that we can put into games.
8K native resolution
For the
with-
8K TV I don't have.
That's right.
Yeah. And DLSS ray tracing
Oh shit!
out of the box. It'll ray trace itself.
It'll ray trace itself.
Yeah. So with ray tracing active, it's supposed to double the speed of the base console in standard modes and an even larger gap, 2.5 times the ray tracing active.
Okay, if it has 120 FPS at 4K.
That is unclear, but yes.
But
That'd be
if-
amazing. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh
Yes.
man.
Yeah.
Oh, you better pre-order it because I highly doubt you're just going to be able to grab one.
That's true.
I know.
Well, it's gonna be like when the RTX go in the stock. It's like be here at this time to get this thing. It's sold out.
So, well,
You know all the bots are
I've
gonna
still
take
been
it.
trying
Oh, yeah, the bots
to
are
buy
gonna
this
take it.
damn thing for freaking any EVGA, like any brand, whatever, freaking GeForce RTX, freaking 3080 or 3070. You know, every time that they come out, they're available now. But you know how much they cost? $1,200 fucking dollars.
woo.
I'm not paying that much money for a video card that's gonna be obsolete next year. Some bullshit.
I told you could just use mine, Brett.
I know, but then I have to mine for you.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
What a trade-off.
it's terrible.
Best
trade-off.
graphics you can get right now.
Yeah, that's right. I guess. Yeah.
Well,
All
cool.
right. Give it to
I
me.
always
I'll
want to
take
throw
it.
that.
Give it
I know.
to me.
Yeah. So this PS5 Pro is in production potentially, or in
I just
planning
don't
or
see-
whatever.
I don't see myself getting this.
It's too early anyway. I feel like. I
yeah,
feel like
way
we need to give
too
it another
early.
year.
Yeah, like why is this coming out now? We already have chip
Because-
shortages.
They can't make PS5s, so they're like, fuck it, let's do the Pro.
How is that solving anything?
I don't know.
And then when the PS5 Pro comes out, you can't get it. It'll be like, hey, guess what? PS5 6. PS5 6. Yeah. It's a PS56, y'all.
I don't know.
I feel like
great.
they just do this because they want the investors to be like, ooh, look something new and shiny. Ooh, we're gonna make more money. Ooh.
You're probably right.
And it's like, well, how are we gonna do this? I don't know. We just need the numbers to be
Yeah. I'm happy with my PS5. Unless it breaks down, then I'll get a Pro. But I think I'm good.
Yeah. I mean, it's working. I mean, we haven't even seen the potential of the PS5 yet. I mean, we've seen
Yeah.
like Returnal and stuff like that. They look amazing.
Yeah, Returnal was
but
the only
it's
one.
still like this was just them based off of pre-production, versions of it.
Yeah.
And they haven't like really been able to, and they're still developing games that are cross gen.
Mm-hmm.
So once they get out of that and start developing games that are exclusively for the next gen consoles, like we haven't even touched the surface on how games are going to look in the next couple of years.
I know.
So
What are we doing? What was the
it's
point
kind
of the
of
PlayStation
annoying.
5 if we're just going to get the Pro?
I mean, I could honestly
know.
see them getting to the point
Tease.
where they do like a freaking iPhone deal or a Samsung deal where every year you get a new model. That you have to just upgrade.
Well, the only way that
change
works out very well is that you're able to like trade in that model right then and there for the new model. It's
Yeah.
kind of hard to trade this in for that one.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's stupid.
Yeah.
I'm good.
I don't know, they're probably going to do what iPhone's talking about. They're talking about launching a subscription service for the iPhone that you can upgrade every year with no penalty.
I can do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
T-Mobile.
It's coming. Well, I mean, you still have to pay a penalty, though, to do that.
No.
Yeah. It's a little bit of penalty. You just
Oh,
don't
every
know
year?
it.
Yeah, it'd be
Yeah.
every 2 years.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. This is every year.
Which
You
I am
can
fine
always
because
upgrade.
I don't need a new iPhone every year.
Yeah, you do.
I mean, I do. I'm
not Brett.
Oh man. Anyway, so that's PS5 Pro, everybody. It is coming out potentially in 2023. We'll
Nice.
see if that actually happens. On other news, CD Projekt Red, still working on fixing Cyberpunk 2077, has confirmed that they are working on a new. They have confirmed they're working on a new Witcher game that's in development that will use Unreal Engine 5.
Ooh.
Which we're excited to see because, I mean, we've played the Matrix demo on PlayStation and it was freaking beautiful. So now...
That means I don't have to mod anymore. This would be amazing right out of the box.
Exactly.
New saga begins.
And I feel like they're like, well, we fucked up with Cyberpunk. Let's go back to The Witcher.
Let's go back to
right.
something we know
Yeah.
that's going to make us money.
Yeah.
Yep. So there's no time frame or release date given, but they did share a teaser image that features a medallion and the phrase, quotes, "A new saga begins."
Ooh.
And they say they're not planning on making the game exclusive to one storefront, despite working together with Epic on this project, which, I mean, ultimately it's just
Nice.
that
Thank
they're just using
goodness.
Unreal Engine 5.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
we don't know if Geralt of Rivia will be included in this, but it does appear to
Don't do
be
it.
a medallion that is of similar fashion to Geralt's wolf medallion.
But not.
But not.
So a whole new character or
I'm
a
hoping.
spin-off character? What's the girl's name?
Siri.
Siri? Is it going to be Siri?
No, I don't think
Moving
it'd be
on.
Siri.
So you think it's just a whole new Witcher?
It needs to be a whole new Witcher.
I think it should be the Bard.
God, I'm gonna kill you.
Toss a coin to your witcher. Yeah, I don't really know what it's gonna be, but I mean, I would like to play a Witcher. You know,
There's so many Witchers. That's the thing. Like, well, there's not right now, at least in the story. At the
Yeah.
end of Witcher 3, there weren't a lot. But it'd be nice to see,
Spoiler.
like something. True, yeah, real fact. It'd be nice to see someone else. Like maybe we go back in time.
That's what I was about to say. What about a prequel
That'd be great.
to the Witchers? You know?
Yeah, back when there was a bunch of Witchers.
Yeah.
Like we get to
Then
know.
they introduced multiplayer. Oh shit!
Co-op.
Co-op Witcher. I would play that.
yeah.
A band of 4 Witchers.
Yeah.
Ooh, toss a coin to your witches.
Like 'cause some of the enemies are pretty big, but it'd be great if you could fight like bigger enemies.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That'd be great. Or get like
dragons.
you get dragons. Let's do it, man.
Yeah, trolls.
That's not that mythology.
I don't know.
don't think dragons were in this mythology.
Wyverns?
Okay, yeah, they have wyverns.
Mimics,
Definitely mimics.
Yeah.
I would love it.
squirrels.
Sure.
They have
You got to eat them.
they have mimics in Tiny Tina's Wonderlands.
I know.
Scared the fucking shit out of me. Dear
know.
God.
That's good shit.
Can't wait.
Yeah.
No, but this is a good thing. Let's see where it goes. I mean, they know this is where they
It would
make their
actually
money.
be really good if they did a multiplayer Witcher game.
Yeah, co-op. Just co-op.
No,
Yeah.
co-op.
Well, so I'm curious to know. I just want to
yeah,
know
we'll
what the deal is with Cyberpunk, though. It's like, are they just like giving up on Cyberpunk,
Yes.
or
No,
well,
they're
but they,
gonna
I
fix
feel like they
it.
should keep
Their
working
new
on
text
it. They
didn't
got
work
new
out,
DLC
so
they're supposed
they-
to bring out for it and shit like that.
I'm sure
you know,
they're gonna
like-
do it, but
I
it's
thought you
just
jumped
at
back
this
into
point-
it.
I haven't yet. I was going to, but then Tiny Tina's
He's
came
not-
out, and so did everything else.
He's not
so-
going to.
God of War. Not
God of
gonna be
War.
done.
Yeah, I haven't finished that God of War. Oh, man. But I did finish Dying Light 2. Hey!
Game of the year.
Game of the year.
Oh, man. I do got to mention, I know we're not talking about it in the news, but oh my gosh. So it turns out when you're playing Dying Light 2 and you get to the end, like final boss battle or whatever, I guess you're not supposed to play that like co-op, but they don't tell you.
They don't tell you.
So we're sitting here. We tried like 7 times to beat the final
kept
boss, and it kept crashing and giving us a black screen,
Yeah.
and we couldn't progress.
Oh,
and
no.
I was so pissed off. I was like, why the fuck can't we finish this stupid final freaking piece
Brett
of
is
shit?
forcing me to stay up with him. I was like, no,
Yeah.
we got it. We got it. I'm like, I need to go to bed, man. I was like, if we're not going to get it this time, I'm going to bed. I'm shutting it down. And he's just like, no, we got it. And then black screen. I'm like, fuck this game.
So then he logs off. I jump in, and like 5 seconds later, I beat it, and I get the end credits, and the whole thing's over with. So clearly,
Yeah.
you weren't supposed to do it with somebody else, but they don't tell you that.
Yeah, that's another thing with that game. God dang it. Screw that game.
Yeah.
So broken.
We can move on. I don't want
It happened several times, and yeah.
I also got the shitty ending, which pissed me off. So
I told you you were.
I know.
No,
okay.
you don't want to believe me. Fucking
All right, let's
dick.
talk about Devolver.
Yeah.
Oh, hey,
so-
we saw this guy, didn't
I
we?
know, yeah. So that's why I want
Hey.
to talk about it. Yeah, because we saw him give a talk, and he mentioned that he was going to be starting a new studio, but he hadn't revealed it yet. So Mike Wilson is the co-founder of Devolver Digital, and he also was the co-founder of Good Shepherd Entertainment, and then
Also the co-founder of
Yeah.
nothing.
I thought there was something else I was missing there.
No, he just seems like he has his hand in a lot of
He does.
lot of
Yeah.
baskets.
Of
He
stuff.
does, yeah. Well, he's not with these companies anymore, so he does. He's not with Devolver anymore. He's not with Good Shepherd anymore.
Which
He's
is
just
sad,
like moves
but-
on to other things. But
Well, we got some juicy stuff on that with the at the talk. So
yeah, so he has now announced he is doing a partnership with somebody else, a guy named Ryan Douglas, who's a roboticist and former CEO of a medical device company, and they have started a company that is called. Why am I blanking on? Why can't I find the name of this stupid article? Hang on a minute, I had it in
You're
my
in
head.
the article.
I know, and it's like Deepwell. It's called Deepwell.
Okay.
It's not like at the top of the article like it should be. It's
right
like
here.
weird.
Yeah, on the video.
Well, yeah, that's where I
Deepwell
found it. but I'm like,
DTX reveal.
it's not in the article anywhere. It's weird.
it took it out.
Anyway, so the company's called Deepwell, and their purpose is going to be basically publishing games that are beneficial to both mental and physical well-being, with a heavy emphasis on mental health. So he's got background, Wilson here has background in promoting mental health, as he even talked about in the talk that we saw at South by Southwest. But he's found that there's been a disturbing trend in recent years of increases in depression and anxiety across the population, but not enough doctors and therapists treat these issues. So he's looking at building games that are like more or less like clinically proven to help in some capacity, because they make a reference to like Fall Guys, for example, that apparently was like really therapeutic and helpful for people getting through like anxiety and depression during the pandemic. That gave them something fun and exciting to play through that just, took their mind off of like their depression. COVID. Yeah.
What's that?
I know, right? So they're going to break this down into 3 different tiers. So the first thing they're going to do is going to be doing original internally developed titles made from the ground up to be therapeutic as well as entertaining. They will be games, but they will be aimed to interest audience who may not specifically be looking for health benefits. So he wants to be accessible and widely available to people with platforms that you're already used to playing on, but they are like at its core designed to help. The second and third are both in partnership with existing game developers, especially indie games. So he hopes to partner with third-party developers who are in the process of making games that might meet its standards for being therapeutic and guide them through the process of getting them approved as such. And then also work with already published games that could have health benefits to get those benefits recognized and not just be like, hey, this is a game, but this game also can help you with your depression or help you with anxiety or whatever that might be. So I think it's really cool. I thought it was a really interesting take on it because, I mean, he even mentioned at our talk about how when he was working at Devolver, there was a person that worked with them that I'm trying to remember what the outcome of was, but it was like really was like, I think like ended up in the hospital or something like that because of like working at his company because of the stress that they went through. And he didn't realize that was even a thing happening within his own company.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So it was kind of one of those deals where it's like, oh shit, wake up call. Like we got to fix that. And that's what Good Shepherd was a way to build a games publishing company that was focused on not overworking people and like, you know, making that be a better kind of building a better work environment for people. And now his focus is to get into helping people with mental health, stuff like that. So
I'm curious to see how this works because there's this quote here. It says, imagine you just load your favorite game. It says, this has been indicated for treatment of anxiety, depression, addiction. Oh, no. Okay. I was thinking the doctor's like, I'm prescribing you a game. And you log in and you're like, this has been indicated that you need to play this game.
okay,
You've been
yeah,
prescribed
yeah. It's like,
GTA
no.
6. Play it.
It's too much. No, it's just, okay. It's like one of those things at the beginning. It's like, okay, if you have anxiety, depression, or addiction, some kind of addiction, this game's good for you or something like that.
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like a notice to
Interesting.
inform you of like,
Well,
this game could help you.
curious to see what kind of games come out because definitely they need to be fun. 'Cause I think
really
it's easy to.
Any game helps with that in some way, shape, or
think
form.
so. Probably not Call of Duty or Fortnite. Little kids screaming at you.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
but any like true single player game is something
That's
that
true. Yeah.
you really can lose yourself into and be able
I mean,
to
I think Rocket League is a great
decompress.
treatment for anxiety and depression. It's not great for addiction, and it's not great for anger management because I scream at people in that game. I mean, I don't scream at people, but I scream at the TV.
Well, that's a good way to release your anger.
That's true.
That's a good way to
You piece of shit.
yeah to go over that. That's the only reason why I play games is to help me with my depression and stuff. So,
Yeah.
but it's going to be interesting to see what games focus in on that more.
Yeah. Well, I'm curious how they're going to pair this, if they pair this with anything else, because, you know, going outside, just getting some sun's good for that. You know, going to get a workout, you know, changing your diet, like all that, everything relates. I hope this isn't something where it's like, oh, well, I have these things, so I'm just going to stay inside after I've been inside all day and continue to play games and just sit on my couch and not do anything. We're active beings and we should be active. So pairing this with other things definitely would help, I think.
Maybe pairing it with like the Oculus Quest 2 so you can get up and move around and
That'd
do
be
things.
awesome. Yeah.
Or the game forces you to go outside,
Yeah.
like go do this before you come back and play. I don't know.
Go for a walk.
Go
before you
for a
can play.
walk.
No, I just like when I come back from work, you know, I'd sit down and play some games for a little bit.
Yeah, that's what I do. I have a bad day. I'm in there screaming at people in Rocket League.
There you go.
Hell yeah. It's fun.
Takes my
Great.
frustration.
Unlike Brett, who wants you dead.
Yeah, it wants me dead.
But then I love you. It's fine. Everything's good.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Brett, I can't get enough of this at work.
Oh man, I just don't ever do it at work, so I gotta unleash
You
it.
gotta unleash it somewhere. Brett, without video games, he will kill someone.
Yeah, it'd be bad. But yeah, I think it's really cool that they're doing this, and I'm excited to see what games come out for it and what we see in the future.
Yeah.
because play is good, as it says here. You know, play is good. It's good for us, and more people should play. If they played, I think
Right.
they'd be happier people.
Dang
Yeah.
right. All right.
What is this?
So guess what?
Chicken butt.
So you know Ubisoft, they're
I don't.
they're known for building games that are like, hey, let's put NFTs in our games, and let's
NFTs.
let's create a game called Skull and Bones that never comes out, or Let's make a game called Roller Champions. Remember that game that we still haven't heard from? in
What?
forever?
Roller Champions?
Y'all remember that?
No.
They announced Roller Champions at E3 a couple years ago, and it was like a roller derby game that was like a kind of like an Overwatch with roller derby stuff.
Yeah.
This has come out like
And we're
early this
like,
year, and
that's
now it's been
stupid.
delayed, and it's still not coming out.
Well, obviously, it's not stupid for Brett because he's focused in on
He
it.
still remembers.
Well, it was just an interesting part of the thing. Shut up, man. Anyway, so they have revealed new technology that is going to build bigger worlds with unlimited player accounts, and it's called Scalar. And it's going to utilize the power of the cloud to give developers abilities to make massive worlds than ever before with as many players as they could possibly want to put in them. And it is going to be able to get past hardware limitations by storing a bulk of the processing power that goes into running games in the cloud. So you'll be playing the game, it's working off your hard drive, but a lot of the heavy lifting will be done third party at these big massive servers that will translate that data to your local computer, your local device. And they say it leverages an untapped potential in the cloud to give developers unprecedented freedom, scalability, and flexibility. So the goal is to just ultimately remove the technical barrier of having games run 100% from local hardware, letting them build bigger games with more players. So you could have a game like freaking, Ghost Recon Breakpoint that's 10 times the size, and you could have 500 people in there, and it wouldn't bog down. I mean, doesn't that sound amazing?
No.
I know.
Absolutely not.
I mean, their world building is already big enough. I mean, I guess it will be fine.
Well, that's my concern here is like I wanted to talk about this because I feel like they're trying to solve a problem that doesn't need to be solved. It's
Doesn't
like
exist.
it's like I don't foresee myself wanting to have a game that is so big that it would take me 10 years to play it. Like with a massive world that just is endless and endless and endless.
That content be shit.
Yeah. It's like, I mean, I give a lot of props to like Microsoft Flight Simulator for literally recreating the world, but it's like you can play that in bite-sized doses. But if you give me like
The world.
The Witcher and like you have the world to play, and I'm like, why? I'm never gonna get through all this. So why build all this content and make this whole massive world if I'm not gonna ever be able to get to it?
It's the metaverse, man. They're trying to get.
Yeah,
the
I think
metaverse.
that's what it is.
Literally the metaverse.
Fuck that. I'm just kidding.
Don't kid. You know. You
Yeah,
said.
yeah. I
Fuck
mean, it's
that.
probably true. Because that is ideally what the metaverse would be. Is that there's as many players as possible inside of it, in a massively endless world of universes you can travel to. So yeah, I mean, I guess they're trying to build the technology for the metaverse.
Damn.
But I'm just like the unlimited player count thing too. It's just like, I mean, we've seen a Battlefield 2042. They gave us 128 players, and it feels like a freaking hot mess.
Yeah.
Shit show.
Yeah, shit show.
Because you
It's
got
like-
a bunch of NPCs running around to fill
We're-
out stuff, and you're just like, boom, you're dead.
You're playing New World, and then there you got a million people trying to connect to it, and you can't connect because they have load queue times. Like, how are they going to put all this stuff in the cloud if like New World can't even have their Amazon servers support a million players?
You're
Like,
right.
I just don't
You're right.
get it. Yeah, that's offloaded to a server because
Yeah.
you're connecting to a server to play that damn game.
And what game are they going to come out with that's going to get that many people to play it? you know?
Exactly.
The
exactly.
Division 3.
We spent $3 billion on this one server.
We've recreated every single major city in the world. All accessible.
almighty.
It'll be great for like a hot minute, and then
Yeah.
it's just
Then
like,
after that, it'll go shit. Yeah.
Yeah. But prepare because you get to see all these AI characters that walk through walls because the geometry broke because you can't transfer data fast enough to your device.
and then you start falling through the floor. You're just like, shit.
Shit. Fall all the way through to the other side.
Yeah.
The world.
And then you're just walking. You're walking upside down on that side of the world.
Yeah.
You're like, hey, help. Everyone's like, who's that? Who's talking?
I think Watch Dogs would be a good one for this because it's already like a whole crazy conspiracy of like, dark technology and this, that, whatever. And then you find it just like broken and scary and
Literally
that stuff.
broken.
Literally broken. Yeah.
Jesus.
That
we
was a
can't
broken
have
game
nice
for
things.
sure. Yeah. No.
Oh my God.
Remember when that game was being published and they were like all excited about Watch Dogs and how it was like, yeah, there's all the you can be any NPC in the world. And then you get into it and you're like, wow, these characters are kind of lame.
Yeah. Kind of sucks.
Yeah.
I wish I can do something better, but I can't.
That was one of Ubisoft's technical advantages right there, or technical achievements.
Yeah, so if that tells you anything,
Yeah.
We've come so far.
this is going to be amazing.
It's going to be so good.
It's all marketing. That's what it is.
Yeah, it really is. It's weird. I'm like, they're just solving problems that they shouldn't be solving. Like, just make good games, y'all. I mean, like,
Speaking of solving problems that shouldn't be solved. I can. What the fuck is this?
so Rockstar should be working on GTA 6, but instead they're working on GTA 5 and GTA Online specifically. And as if they haven't milked people enough for money, they've launched a new subscription service for GTA Online called GTA Plus, exclusively. Oh, now this is the other thing too. It's exclusive to the next gen versions. So it's exclusive to PS5 and Xbox Series X and S. So
Looks so good. The graphics
Looks phenomenal.
So good.
So you can now pay $5.99 a month to play GTA Online starting March 29th. And with this subscription, you're going to get access to a recurring monthly bank account deposit of $500,000, ensuring you have plenty of cash to spend in the online open world. There will also be a wide range of members-only bonuses, including exclusive properties, vehicles, upgrades, discounts, and cash bonuses. They also mentioned that there will be the ability to unlock gameplay updates that you may have missed out on, suggesting that previously time-limited content will be accessible with GTA Plus. The first month of content will give you the $500,000, some kind of fight, an auto shop property, freaking car, LS car meet membership
Los
fee
Santos.
being waived, Los Santos car meet waived, membership fees. Yacht owners can upgrade their super yacht at no cost, and several other things. You can also purchase members only shark cards that come with extra bonus cash. So it's definitely getting to be one of those deals where you have VIPs now in this world. You have the regular people, and then you have the 1% that's got the subscription service that is way more.
I actually thought about jumping back into this game. I was going to re-download it this week and
What are you doing?
just check it out because I haven't played Grand Theft Auto Online in forever, and I highly enjoyed it whenever I was playing. But now it's gotten to a point where it's its own entity, I guess.
Like when you were playing it, like what was the key thing you were doing? Were you just dropping into a game where it's like 32 on 32 and you're just like fighting people?
No.
Or was it more massively multiplayer with GTA?
No, they had
Online?
I had played in the early days, so they had like multiplayer events happening, or like races you can do, missions you can do together, waves of enemies you can kill. We did that one a lot. That one was super fun.
By default, though, like the core game is like you're in this open world of the game.
Yep.
And you just find activities to do with your friends.
Yeah.
Okay.
You just find random activities to do with your friends, and it was fun, Or you can just run around and just start shooting random people, and then get a bounty on your head and get tracked down and killed by someone else. So it can turn into that real fast.
Yeah.
Like
Wow.
one gunshot, and then everyone's on top of you. So
Well, for the month of April, the Inner Gamer will be streaming every Wednesday Grand Theft Auto Online.
Grand Theft Auto
Tune in
Online.
for our $5.99 subscription service.
Oh my God.
It's gonna be great.
I won't be there.
They also have like story bits in there for the Grand Theft Auto Online for your character and stuff that you can go through. I mean, they just recently ended the Franklin and Dr. Dre's DLC storyline. So they do have storyline concept to it.
If Dr. Dre's in there, then I definitely got to get it.
So, and then robbing banks and stuff together, planning your heist. I mean, it's fun playing online, but I haven't done it so long, and now it's kind of way out there with stuff, and I'm like, okay. So,
Yeah. I mean, it looks like it's an incredibly deep game. I mean,
Yeah.
there's so much content in here, which I think is amazing. And I kind of wish I had. I mean, I did buy it. I even bought it on PC because I wanted to jump into it and try the mod stuff and everything. And I never really engrossed myself into it. But I do kind of want to just experience it because it sounds like it's such a mass. I mean, it's like its own metaverse or its own world in the metaverse in a way. with all the shit that you can do in here. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I do remember like the bank heist taking forever because they were broken when they first launched. And that took a while to get fixed.
But once they fixed it, it was super fun. Yeah.
I could see that being good with friends.
Oh, yeah.
Just like, hey, let's go freaking figure out how we're going to heist this place. Turn it down.
Dude, I cannot play with the way that all the characters move. It's just ridiculous.
What do you mean?
Yeah, it's pretty shitty.
The way they move, like they've always moved the same way.
Oh.
And
I feel like
it's laggy.
heavy.
Yeah, heavy and laggy. Like they don't respond well to your commands. It's just like, ugh, can't do it. Just can't do it.
It was such a good game, though.
It was.
I love that story. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I don't remember it.
Yeah, it was really
remember.
memorable. Yeah.
I don't know if I
remember.
beat it, actually.
You remember?
You remember? Remember Chewie?
Yeah.
I remember
like-
Chewie.
It was like Odyssey almost. It just took a fucking forever.
Assassin's Creed
Yeah.
or Super Mario?
Both.
Yeah.
Oh, so much story content in Mario Odyssey.
Exactly.
I didn't beat it.
Which
Both?
one?
I didn't get very far. Both.
All of the above.
All the above. Oh, shit.
Oh, man. Okay, so GT Online, $5.99 subscription service. Woo. Go out and buy it right now. Get all of your shit in GTA. I do like that GT Online has more players on Steam than Battlefield 2042. It's really sad, but it's fine.
Is it, though?
Yeah, no, I mean, it is what it is. All right, everybody. That is going to wrap it up for the news this week. If you have not subscribed to us yet on YouTube, you should head over and watch these discussions and much, much more at youtube.com/innergamer. I know we haven't had a few videos coming out a whole lot lately, but we're about to get back on that.
Yep.
With this episode, it's going to be great. And make sure you follow us on TikTok, too, because we got TikToks talking the talks all the way across the tickety-tacky thing.
Yeah, if you thought TikTok was great, wait to check out TikTok 2. TikTok 2.
Exactly.
The triple T.
We'll be right back with our discussion topic on Hogwarts Legacy State of Play. So stay tuned for that, and we'll be right back. It is time for our topic of the show. This week, we're going to be talking about Hogwarts Legacy. Recently got revealed with their State of Play with PlayStation, where they had a 15-minute State of Play walkthrough showcasing all the gameplay with actual gameplay of this game with the release date of it coming out this holiday, 2023.
And
2022.
it's real soon.
Sorry, 2022. It is real soon. It's very exciting that this is coming out, and we've seen the content for it. They've showcased a lot of stuff where like it's a full-blown RPG. You're at Hogwarts School. It happens before any of the J.K. Rowling books happen. You get sorted into a house. You go to classes. You do potions class. You do the charms class, this, that, whatever. You explore throughout the entire place. There's like hidden secrets and stuff all throughout Hogwarts Castle. You can like meet new people there and all this stuff. And that's all that happens at Hogwarts. And there's a whole nother piece outside of it. But looking at that piece specifically, I'm curious to know, like, what were y'all's first impressions when you watched this? I mean, we've seen some gameplay videos, like brief ones. We've seen like a trailer reveal and stuff like that. But as far as just like what we've seen in this video, like, how do you feel about this game? Awesome.
I think it might actually be good.
Nice.
I just, because me and Lizette watched all the Harry Potter movies in the fall. And so we're coming off of that.
That was
And
beautiful.
I think, I mean, from what I can see, it seems legit. Like, apparently you can travel throughout all of Hogwarts. So stuff that I guess you've heard of in the books is actually going to come to life now. While some of the things from the movies will be here as well and look probably very similar. But now you get to go through the whole thing and live it yourself, you know? Like,
Right.
that's awesome. Like, it doesn't seem cheesy, but we can get into other stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jason,
Yeah.
what do you think?
Visually, it is outstanding, and I agree with Austin. You get to explore Hogwarts to its fullest. I think the one part I'm not going to enjoy as much is going to classes and stuff. I feel like that's just going to be probably not the dark arts, fighting against dark arts, which they're doing right now. That's probably going to be more of the combat stuff, but everything else, I feel like it's going to turn into a matching the buttons to create a potion or something like that along those lines, because you can't really do much with, classwork stuff in video games. For a prime example, Bully was similar to that, but they actually had, like when you went to the grammar class, you had to actually figure out crossword puzzles and stuff like that, which was pretty fun and entertaining, something different, but I don't know how they can switch it up for the classes if it's not just going to be button smashing. But Hogwarts in general, finding all the hidey holes and stuff like that and unlocking puzzles, I find that very fun and interesting. I'm excited for that. It's just like, walking through the school and you see something that's kind of out of place and you're able to solve a puzzle to get inside that room. That's going to be super fun. I like all the NPCs just randomly just doing shit, just involved in the world. It makes me feel like I'm going to get super immersed into this world, and I'm excited about that.
So what if this is how they plan to do it? You go out in the world and you get XP and you get skill points, right?
Okay.
But you only can spend the skill points in the classroom. So you go to the classroom, you want to level up whatever.
Yeah.
And it allows you to unlock certain things.
That's kind of what I was thinking.
Because you can't, you're not going to sit there in class.
Yeah.
Like, you're not, it's just going to be like a quick, like, oh, look, montage.
And
I learned something.
That's another thing I'm curious about with the classroom stuff. Is it going to be timed? Is this event, since you're in a class, in a school setting, is all this going to be timed? So like at a certain time, I need to fucking run across Hogwarts to get to goddamn potions with fucking Slithermouth fuck and do something. And then have to run all the way across and only have a limited amount of time to actually explore.
She was my favorite teacher.
Yeah, I know. Same.
Are you saying like, you actually have like a schedule?
I have an actual schedule throughout the day. I feel like that. I hope it's not like that. And I hope it's just kind of goes along with the story with the classes. I have a feeling it's more that than what I'm picturing.
Yeah, I don't think that's just not fun. I think there are games that actually do that kind of thing.
Bully did that.
Okay.
I was gonna say, Austin, like, what was Fire Emblem Three Houses like? Because I know they had the class component to it, didn't they?
Yes. I can't remember what they did there, but I know there was like certain times. So it actually had like, there was a calendar that they talked about early on, and you could look at the calendar and certain days, certain things would happen. So if it fell on a certain day, you can go, talk to somebody or do something, or some event would be happening. And so that might be something like that.
Okay.
But I would assume, like, just like most games, it is a certain time of day and it's not going to change, and you can go explore or you can go and go to class if you want to.
Okay.
But like maybe you can only do that during the day.
During the day.
When classes are going on, and at night, if you want to go explore, you can go explore type thing. So there might be some kind of, there might not be night and day cycles, but maybe like in, what was I playing? In Tunic, like when you go to a shrine to save and reheal and get all your stuff back, like it actually goes to nighttime, and then there's like a black screen. Then when it comes back, it goes from night to day, but it's really fast. So everything takes place during the day. So it might be something like that.
Okay. Well, beyond like the class stuff, how do y'all feel about the combat?
It's interesting that, I think it looks really, really good. Like there's a lot of particle effects and things that are going on. What I'm concerned about is it's very like, I feel like your character is like very stiff in most of the ways where he's like, he's doing these movements where he's like, throwing his hands out and stuff like that. But I'm curious to know like what the controls actually are, because it looks like he's using different spells at different times. Is it like a Avengers where you just like keep mashing the button to like build up combos that like make stuff happen over time, or are you like actually pressing different buttons to send out different spells, and then based on those different combos you can do different moves and stuff like that? It looks like there's like even a dash maneuver you can do. I'm just curious to know like what you're clicking and pressing to make this stuff happen. Is it more button mashy, or is it more like methodical like combat situations?
I feel like it's more methodical, because you can see them use different spells, and then you can also see them like pull in people and do that, a takedown, and smash around. I'm really digging the combat, and you can parry other spells, that will be fucking badass to do, because that's what I was worried about, how you can counter them. And you see he just countered that one, and I think
there's gonna have to be like some kind of stamina or like magic that gets depleted over time.
Yeah.
Probably.
And I'm pretty sure you're going to be able to button map which spells go where. Mm-hmm. Like you have to be able to do that. And I hope there's like one button that deflects spells, and it could be like Spider-Man, where it's like, oh, this guy's about to do it, so I need to click it now. And maybe there'll be if you do it at the right time, you get that like extra bonus damage, or maybe like kills you or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think it looks good. Like I like it. The only thing I'm concerned about is that he's always going to be yelling out spells. I feel like that's annoying.
Yeah.
And there's also a sneak mechanic. You can sneak up behind people.
Yeah.
Right.
That's badass.
So go in guns blazing or wands blazing or
Wands
Yeah. You
blazing.
can choose. Yeah. I mean, I do think this game looks really, really good. There's a lot to it that I am concerned that once you get into the game, it's going to be like there's just too much stuff, and like when you actually get to it, it's not going to be as good. Like when you like in practice, but I could also be very much mistaken. I mean, like visually it looks amazing. You have a full character creator in here, like all the different classes, like the exploring of Hogwarts, I think seems really, really cool. The combat, I mentioned that it seems a little stiff sometimes, but I mean, I think just the different variations here are really, really neat. And just looks like a lot of fun to play.
Yeah.
But then there's even like exploring beyond Hogwarts. I mean, they talked about going to Hogsmeade, where you can like meet different merchants and stuff like that to like level up your character and like buy new gear and stuff like that over there. But then even beyond that, you can travel out to other areas of the world and like do quests and things of that nature. So I'm curious to know like just how freaking big this game is.
It
looks huge.
Yeah, so there's one video where you're riding a broomstick and you're flying around in like an open space. Like, how big is this area? Like, is it an open area? Is it an open world? Like, what are we going to encounter?
It looks open world.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like there's a lot of stuff in this game. You have animals you can collect. You have potions that you have to find. You have to be able to learn different magic stuff, and you have other companions with their side missions that dives into their side of the story of what's happening. And along with the open world aspect, I feel like there's a lot of stuff happening in this game, and I feel like it's going to be a little overwhelming in my eyes.
Maybe.
What do you think, Austin?
Just maybe. I think I might actually really like this.
Yeah.
I think my girlfriend's actually going to play it.
Hell yeah.
And that's another issue. It's not co-op.
Yeah.
They missed the golden opportunity without it being co-op.
Well, hopefully they have ideas for that later.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Add that in like Returnal.
It is so weird to me. Like, I feel like there's a time where, there were certain games that we want to co-op in, but now it's like you kind of want every game to be co-op in a way. It's like things like God of War and stuff. Like, I don't think it makes sense to be co-op. But like a game like this definitely feels like it should be co-op.
Yeah.
Returnal felt like it should be co-op. Like this feels like a co-op component to it would really like help a lot. Because it's just like, in Harry Potter, you have your three people, Harry, Hermione, and Ron and stuff like that. They run around together. And it could be the same kind of deal where you like work together to help each other and do stuff in the world. Like, yeah, I think that could be really interesting.
Yeah.
So hopefully that's like an add-on. I'll be curious to know what the post-launch like thing looks like, if they're gonna like release this and just like be done, or if they're gonna have like a DLC component and have add-ons and stuff like that.
That'd be great.
I don't like that every game like is like, oh, what's their post-game content look like, but I feel like this game could be benefited for it.
Yeah.
Definitely agree. Man,
Are they building a house? What
Yeah,
the
you can build a
fuck?
house. You build your own like mini. That's where you keep all your animals at, in that greenhouse.
Oh, I see.
You go inside of it. You design it however you feel.
The fuck?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's a lot of shit in this game,
So
man.
much shit in this game.
Oh, dragon.
Oof.
Yeah,
This
like
is-
Hogsmeade Station is pretty sick.
And you go to the vaults.
Yeah.
Where they keep all the gold and stuff.
Yeah.
And you go into dungeons down there. And I'm like, dude, that's going to be sweet.
Yeah.
So it looks very impressive. And it doesn't seem like it's going to suck. But no. It might.
Visually, the game looks phenomenal.
Oh, yeah. Acting doesn't look too bad either.
Yeah. Hopefully, it's a good storyline. That's the only way with a big open world like this. And plus, there's a good and evil side to the story as well. So you can either go all out killing people, well, not killing people, but being bad,
Yeah.
and or be good.
Yeah.
So
So I'm trying to think. So how was the story of Mad Max?
it was great. It was phenomenal. It felt like
Mad Max?
felt like Mad Max, and that's what I'm excited about this one, because right now it feels like Harry Potter. It feels like it's going to be a Harry Potter story. Well, Hogwarts story, I guess.
Yeah.
Not Harry
Yeah.
Potter.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, Avalanche did a phenomenal job on Mad Max. I heard that they're making a sequel to it, and I hope that's true.
Yeah.
And because that game was phenomenal, the storyline was great, and it just felt like it felt like a movie that I was playing.
Yeah. Because I mean, I know that, like, technically speaking, like looking at their big flagship titles, like Mad Max was a big one. They worked a lot on Rage 2, and then like Just Cause is their big thing. Like Just Cause doesn't have like a great story, but like technically speaking, the game is always like super impressive with like the physics, mechanics, and how you like navigate the world, and just the open world generally is really cool. So like I feel like the sandbox component to this game is going to be like top notch. And I mean, they've already shown with all the freaking visuals, it's just like crazy. But I'm curious to know if like how this story is going to be. But they've captured the essence of what Harry Potter is so well. I mean, like this looks like a freaking Harry Potter game brought to life, like the best looking Harry Potter game brought to life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we've had Harry Potter games in the past, but they've all been shit. So they hit the nail on the head with this one. Like
First
it's gonna be
PC game
something
I ever
special.
played was a Harry Potter game.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, it's definitely not D&D Dark Alliance.
Oh God.
Right.
I was gonna buy that game too.
God, so glad you did.
Glad I
Who
did.
stopped you?
You stopped me.
You were
Thank
saved.
God.
Saved by the inner gamer.
Yeah.
There it is. But yeah, Hogwarts Legacy. It's coming out. It's looking cool. I mean, I have some reservations, but I'm not too concerned. I feel like I think it's going to be good. I think it's going to be really fun. And it's going to definitely deliver. So looking forward to hearing more from this game down the pipeline. I want to see some of the more of the menus and stuff like that and how that all works. And yeah, just anxious to play it. Get my hands on it this holiday season.
I know.
I'm just gonna
same.
like take 2 weeks
Game of
off
the
and just
year?
like not touch anything. Dude, this is gonna be a hard year for games, you know? I mean, we got Elden Ring came out. I mean, obviously Dying Light 2 is in the running.
God,
Like
yeah. The only
all
other
these amazing
AAA game you
games.
played.
Yeah. Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, like shit. We're just getting
Yeah,
started.
I'm curious to see where that falls after I start playing.
yeah, for sure.
No, we'll have to come back to it. Give us more time to play it. Possibly
A lot
stream it a
more.
little bit.
Hills, yeah, we'll stream it. Yeah, it's going to be a interesting year of games. There's still more big stuff to come out that we haven't even seen yet.
God dang it.
So it's going to be a lot. Anyway, that is going to wrap it up for our discussion topic. If you have a discussion topic you want to hear us discuss, you should email us at hello@theinnergamer.net or join us in our Discord channel. You can find that link in the show notes. We'll be right back with our upcoming video game releases. Looking forward to the next few weeks. Let's talk about our upcoming video game releases. It's finally slowing down, my friends.
Is it?
It's finally slowing down a little bit. We got a little
spring
bit.
slowdown?
Little
Spring
bit.
slowdown.
Yep. We have Weird West coming out March 31st to all platforms. This is a dark fantasy reimagining the Wild West where lawmen and gunslingers share the frontier with fantastical creatures. You journey through the story of a group of atypical heroes written into legend by the decisions you make in an unforgiving land. Each journey is unique and tailored to the actions you take. A series of high-stakes adventures where everything counts and the world reacts to the choices you make. From a posse or venture forth alone into an otherworldly confines of the wild, weird West, and make sure each legend is your own.
Ooh.
Mer.
Wasn't the game I thought you were talking about. I thought the other one. Never mind. We'll discuss
Yeah.
it later. Also, coming out on April 5th is Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga. Why?
For all platforms.
For all
Because
platforms.
We have new platforms.
The galaxy is yours with Lego Star Wars, the Star Wars, the Skywalker Saga. I cannot read that. Play through all 9 Star Wars Saga. Damn it!
Play through all 9
Star Wars Saga films in a brand new Lego video game, unlike any other. Bullshit. There's already plenty of them. Experience a fun-filled adventure with whimsical humor and the freedom to fully immerse yourself in Star Wars universe like never before, or like plenty of times before when the other games came out, Brett.
So we were
before.
talking before we started the podcast. I'm actually really excited for this game. And this guy is just like this Karen over here is trying to like bust my bubble.
I see that.
They had this game so many times, and now
But I
they're just
never
adding
played any
in
of them, okay.
one more episode.
3 more.
Fuck you,
episodes,
Lego, Star Wars.
Well, the trailer did make it look good.
Yeah, have you
I've
seen the
never
trailer
played
yet?
through all of them.
It looks so good.
I played through some of
It
them.
looks so much fun. There's
Anyway.
new content. Oh yeah. So that's gonna wrap up our show this week. If you want to check us out in 2 weeks, you totally should come back to check us out in 2 weeks because we are obviously your favorite video game podcast. If you like what you hear, you can leave us a review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, and don't forget to join us on twitch.tv/gamercast every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central Time.
You can also join us in on the conversation on our Discord channel. Check out our show notes for the link. If you want to support our show, you can donate on our website at theinnergamer.net. All donations go towards making the podcast, videos, and streams even better.
And as always, if you cannot contribute monetarily, please take time to share this episode with a friend, family member, or loved one. The more eyes we get in front of our content, the faster we grow, and it helps more than you know. So thank you for continued support. I'm Austin Morales.
I'm Brayton Husky.
And I'm Jason Hobbs.
And you've been listening to the New Gamer Podcast. Catch you guys next time. Podcast. Ow.
I'm Vengeance.
I'm Vanessa.
No one asked you to come.